Hello guys, Nilesh here back with another tutorial. So today in this video, I will show you an easiest way to render an image just like this one. Looks pretty good, right? Now coming back to the model, you can see two window opening, and coming back to inside, you can see a Gola profile kitchen with a breakfast counter and a crockery unit. Now I'll just click one of the scene. And if you don't know how to create a scene, you can check my other video on the YouTube. Now before starting with Vray, there are two major things that you need to do first. The first one is head to Windows and Model Info to purge all the unused material inside the model. Just click on Purge Unused, wait for a bit, and it will delete all the unused 3D models inside SketchUp. And the second one is assign the material. Now all the textures are present inside SketchUp, but we have to assign it for Vray. Now to do that, head to Extension, Vray, File Path Editor. Now here is all the list of material present inside SketchUp. For the yellow ones, you can just select all and click on Archive and Repath. Then just give it a folder, and next create a folder with the name material, and just select the folder. Now the green marks indicates that all the materials are assigned, and for the red ones you have to do it manually, like this one. Just head to the material, sample it, and go to in model and look for that material. Once you see it, just right click, export texture image, and select the same folder. And just click on export button. Once you're done, head back to asset editor. Here you can assign a diffuse map by enabling the bitmap, and now select the same material. I think this is the one, and click on open. Like this way you can do the same for the other three. Now to begin with the material, let's start with this laminate at the bottom. So here under reflection, I've given reflection color to the max and reflection glossiness to 0.8 to give it a semi-gloss value. As for this faucet, I've replaced it with a default material called aluminum blurry. Same goes for this thing. And on the joints, I've replaced it with steel polish. As for this material, I'll just replace it with plastic like this one, and head back to that material, sample it, then replace in scene. Like so, for material like this one, you already have a reflection, so you don't have to add any reflection. Now talking about wood material, I've given the reflection color somewhere around 25% and reflection glossiness to 0.75. As for bump, I'll just copy the diffuse map and paste it in bump map. Then add a wrapping, color correction, lower the hue and saturation, increase the brightness little bit to get that subtle grains, then head back, and here you can see the changes. Now to reduce the bump, lower the amount to 0.20, and I think this might be fine. To change the color, I've just added a wrapping, color correction. Likewise, I adjusted hue and saturation to change the color. Now for the other material, like this one. I've just added reflection color a little and increased the glossiness value to 0.7 and reflection glossiness to 0.85. That's it. And for the edited material like this one, I've increased the reflection color to the max, highlight glossiness and reflection glossiness at same. For this plastic material, I've increased the color as well as glossiness to the highest and lowered highlight glossiness a little bit. Next, for the material like this one, I've replaced it with default material iron blurry and the top coat of this oven with aluminum brush. As for this vessel, I've increased reflection color to the max as well as the glossiness a little lower and lower the highlight glossiness. For handles, I've replaced it with plastic simple blurry. Same goes for the knobs. Now for this front coat of the glass, in the reflection, I've lowered the reflection color to give that blackish finish and increase the reflection glossiness to 0.75. Now for material like this one, I've changed the color by adding a color correction, then adjusted the hue like so. As for the reflection, I'll just lower the reflection glossiness and increase the reflection color. To make it little reflective. As for the shutter glass, I've replaced it with a frosted material. Now for the countertop, under reflection, I've increased the reflection color a little bit and reflection glossiness to 0.8. Now for the bump, I've copied the diffuse map and pasted as a copy in the bump map. Then later added a wrap in by using color correction and lower the hue and saturation and increase the gamma and gave an amount of 0.1. As for the material like leaves, I've increased the reflection color to the max and the glossiness to 0.5. And for the material like this one, I've increased the reflection color to the max and made highlight glossiness as well as reflection glossiness to be equal. For the ceramic material like this one, I usually increase reflection color to the max and glossiness to 0.85, then enable the reflection IOR and given value of 2.5. That will make it more reflective. As for the glass material on the window, I will replace it with the default material. As for MSM material, I've just given it a color and changed the temperature to 5500 and intensity of 1. As for the wall tile, I've used an PBR material, and if you don't know how to use an PBR material, do check out my video on YouTube. And I think that is pretty much it for different types of material. Now let's start with lighting. To begin with lighting, first you have to understand the basic first, like how light affects the room. To explain it, I'll just open the frame buffer and just load this one. Here I didn't render by using material override to show you how different lights affects the room. At first I use the primary light, which is my sun. So I've disabled all the light except the sunlight. Next one is the secondary light by using ceiling lights. So now my sun as well as my ceiling lights are illuminating the room. Here you can see the pelmet, which has a curve light, as well as this pendant light and this two task light. Next one up is the fill light, which is coming from this particular corner, as well as the light inside the wall cabinet. If you understand this four light, you can easily light up your room. At first I'll unhide my Vray lights. First up is sunlight, so I'll enable the shadows. As you can see, I've adjusted the sun ray to fall on this countertop. Now for the other lights, I'll open the asset editor and add to light section. I'll select one of the lights, like this one. For this light, I've added a rectangle light and changed the shape to this and gave it an intensity of 60 and changed the unit to radian watt. Next, for the backfill light, I gave it an intensity of 60 and changed the unit to default scalar and made it invisible. Next, for the ceiling lights, I gave it an intensity of 100, changed the unit to radian watt, and changed the directionality to 0.3. Now for the pelmet light, I just made it a group and then converted it to mesh light. Gave it an intensity of 100, changed the color and units to radians watt. Now for the pendant light, I did the same by converting it to a mesh light, gave it an intensity of 30, changed the color and units to radian watt. And for the sunlight, I changed the color mode from filter to override and intensity multiplier to 5 as well as size multiplier to 50 and the horizon to 20. If I reset it, earlier it was 0, you can see this foggy background at behind. To lower it, just add a value of 20. And for the wall unit fill light, which is right behind here, I just gave it an intensity of 30 and made it invisible, like so. That is pretty much it. Now let's move on to render setting. To begin with, I'll just reset it default. Under renders, clear the progressive, and for quality, I usually keep it medium plus for my final renders and low for my preview renders. So right now, I'll keep it to medium plus and enable the denoiser. No changes under camera. For render output, enable the save frame. Give an image width and height, 1920 to be precise. Change the aspect ratio as per your model. I'm gonna give it 4:3. Now, under render parameter, go to global illumination. Change primary rays from brute force to irradiance map. Now enable the advanced setting. Go under ambient occlusion. Enable it. Give radius to 4 and occlusion amount to 0.2. Now just close it. And that's pretty much it. So here are the results after render. I'll just maximize it. Next, what you have to do is enable this display colors in sRGB space, like so. Then enable the color correction, and under exposure, if I reset it, here you can see a lot of highlight burn. Just enable the force clamping and reduce the highlight burn until it vanishes. Then increase the exposure to around 1.5 to make it brighter. Lower the highlight burn like so. And you can even add contrast to your image. I think 0.15 would be fine. After that, you can open lens correction setting to enable the bloom glare effect, like this one. Okay, so I think this tutorial was helpful to you. I will even upload this model and provide a link in description. And thank you guys for watching. Stay inspired guys. See you in the next video.